Big news in Montgomery today where the state Senate voted down a massive comprehensive gambling bill. WKRG News 5 state Capitol reporter Jeff Sanders is covering this story tonight from the Alabama State House.
The final vote was 19 yes votes and 13 no votes. However, with this being a constitutional amendment, it needed 21 votes to pass. The vote came after several amendments were voted on and approved. One amendment added the Whitehall Gaming Center in Lowndes County to the list of casinos. That list had already grown to 7 when Marsh added Houston County. But in the end, the votes simply weren't there. Senator Marsh says he takes full responsibility for the legislation's defeat.
And in an attempt to satisfy members and be open and talk, as I say, no good deed goes unpunished.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for Yellowhammer Now, and let me tell you something we're not going to do. We're not going to allow the quasi-legal casinos in this state, meaning casinos that are operating against the law, clearly, but have protection of local authorities for various reasons, to benefit from whatever gambling law they try to propose. For years, the Alabama legislature has tried to do it in a way that those people would get what they wanted, and then you could have a state lottery. We'd take all the casinos and we'd put them in the poorest parts of the state, and we'd suck money out of that area, and we'd spread it around the state and say, ha, you idiots. And that's what we decided we were going to do. Still couldn't get it done. Still couldn't get it done. And I think that's actually a pretty good deal. Why? Well, let me do the math for you here real close. Let's just use simple numbers. Let's say the state benefits $20 million from a casino, meaning that's how much tax revenue they get. At a 20% tax rate, that meant $100 million went into the pockets of casino owners. Is that really a good deal for the state to take out $100 million out of the economy from your poorest people and then taking it and giving the state $20 million to give to people to go to what, college? That doesn't make much sense to me, but that's what we've tried to do in various different ways. Or maybe we'll take that money and we'll build a bridge. Or maybe we'll take that money and we'll just put it in the general fund. Who knows? It's a bad deal. And it's made worse by the fact that these quasi-legal, i.e. illegal casinos, are still going to be able to operate, only they're going to be given the stamp of approval by the state of Alabama. It's a bad deal all the way around, and I'm not a big fan. Luckily, it appears the legislature seems to be coming to their senses on this.
Representative Matthew Hammond of Covington County wants to crack down on illegal gambling. After operations were found in his county, he says the current penalties don't go far enough.
We had some in the store, and they city police chief Chance, him and the district attorney went in and got them, and they said they'll be back up in 6 months because it was just a misdemeanor. All we do is slap them on the wrist. So
Representative Matthew Hammond says they discovered scratch-off tickets in a Covington County convenience store. Right now, that penalty is a Class A misdemeanor. Hammond hopes to make that a Class C felony and a minimum fine of $1,000.
when we're not going after these people that's operating under a constitutional amendment like the dog tracks or the horse tracks, that's not the purpose of this bill. It's strictly for these illegal operations outside of that CAs.
But some say those operations need to be tackled through an all-encompassing bill.
We think that the issue of gaming in Alabama should be addressed in a comprehensive manner so we can cover all bases as it relates to dealing with it, illegal gaming as well as legal gaming.
Now, I do like the idea that we're going to punish these people and tell them they can't operate this way and, that it's illegal. That's great. But they're trying to clear the way to pass some form of gambling. Probably the lottery. That's what they're probably going to try to do here once they get this done. That's the least bad option. Still a bad option. Still sucks a ton of money out of the economy for very little benefit while telling people they all have a chance to win. In Tennessee, they're upping the amount of money that these tickets can cost. And it's not just Tennessee, but across the country. And they're doing that so they can take in more money for the vendors and the people who run it, and a little more for the state as well. But that comes out of the pockets of the taxpayers. The more I look at this gambling, lottery, etc., the more it is clear that it is really a bad idea. This is not going to be a tourist destination, so the casinos make absolutely no sense. And the lottery is just a tax on poor people or stupid poor people. So that's not a good idea either. But if you want to move any of this forward, you've got to do what this piece of legislation here proposes. punish the people who are operating illegally right now, get them out of the way, and then have a real debate about what the state wants to do. In what way do we want to screw over the poorest people in this state? That's the question you have to ask yourself. But the first thing you have to do is get the criminals out of the way.